Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Hey, you know what? I'm not upset about the loss. It is what it is. The Knicks played like the Knicks. To be honest with you guys, we play like, what do I want to say? We play like kids. Imagine that. We play like kids. We really do. But we'll talk about it. Let's go. All right, we back to it. I know I got the corny little, not even intro, just my logo up there. It's going to get there soon. It's going to get fixed. I promise you. We already got some guys in the video chat. We got Viv. We got Isaiah. We got Nate in the video chat. And we're going to go ahead and get to talking about this game. You know, I don't know how much there really is to talk about the game. A little bit to talk about the game. Not a whole lot, though. Mitch Robinson, of course. Mitch Robinson. I love what Mitch Robinson is. Good game for Mitch Robinson, man. Mitch Robinson is doing some things. And so we're definitely going to talk about Mitch and what's going on with Mitch Robinson right now with the New York Knicks, because he's playing some basketball. He's definitely playing some basketball. But let's talk about the game first. Then we'll get to Mitch Robinson. And then whatever other topics come up will be the topics that we talk about. All right. So let's take a look at guys in the video chat right now. You know who we have in the video chat right now. Let's bring these guys over and let's talk a little bit. Here we go. We got Viv. We got Isaiah. We got Nate. And undoubtedly, you guys can see, you know, I got a little bit of a different setup. Trying to, you know, we're mixing and matching some things. We're making some things, you know, we're tweaking it as we go. All right. So, you know, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, we got our guys in the chat and we're going to go ahead and start talking a little bit. We'll start with you, Viv, since you were the first one in the chat. What's your take, man, on the game tonight?
I mean, it was going to look like one of those games where, you know, you would start the chat and people are just going to be all pissed off and, you know, angry and whatever. But look, that third quarter and beginning of the fourth quarter, man, that, you know, we made it at least interesting. So, you know, overall, it was much of a doozy. I mean, there wasn't really, you know, there's not a lot to be proud of, you know, from a good chunk of our players. But Mitchell Robinson, I want to see him in the Rising Stars game. At least maybe you'll get someone who plays defense, and maybe he'll get like maybe 15 alley-oops or something. But he'd be way more exciting to see than Kevin Knox, to be quite honest.
Mitchell Robinson in that Rising Stars game, let me tell you what, he would, yeah, like you said, he'd catch 20 oops. Big shout out to Travis Fisher as well. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Mitch Robinson would get 20 alley-oops, man. It would probably be ridiculous. He'd kill it. He'd kill it. I love it. It would be like
Fox and Mitchell Robinson or even Trae Young and Mitchell Robinson. Whoever it is, I don't care which point guard we have, you know, on the Team USA team, but whoever it is, we'll just throw them alley-oops all day, every day, and it'll just be fun to watch.
Yeah, it would.
I would much rather have him there than Knox. No offense to Knox, but, you know. Look, he's just been like the way I feel like he literally improves every day. I don't think we've seen a real bad game from him in, my God, when's the last bad game? Was it even before? It was even before the trade too, which is kind of crazy, right? Like he started going on this like run, you know, where he's been playing a lot better since before the trade.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it every single game.
Well, you know, and since before the trade, he started playing well, and after the trade, he's been playing well. I'm pretty sure, you know, DeAndre Jordan is helping him out. And bottom line, he's just getting the playing time though. He's getting deserved playing time because he's not fouling anybody. He's not getting burned on pick and roll, and you know he's blocking shots like crazy, and he's basically the recipient of 1 million alley-oops, and you know all the guards are rewarding him for that.
So he's pretty much deserved all this time, and I think he's ready to, start playing more minutes. If you want to start, increasing those minutes a little bit more, I think he's gotten to that point. Yeah. So I am quite excited, and now, I think the rising stars, they're missing out on him. I'll tell you that.
Now we're gonna get back to Mitchell Robinson. A couple of things though. Well, let's get around to everyone first, and then we'll get back. All right, let's get around to everyone. Nate, what's going on?
What's up, Sam? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
Pretty good, man. Hey, man. I got a confession. I didn't watch the second half because the defense was so bad in the first half that I just was sick to my stomach. I mean, we played pathetic. I mean, you cannot allow 70 points and a halftime score or near 70 and expect to win. I think I've said that multiple times on the show. It's just embarrassing. The effort's not.
I feel you, but you got to also look at, you're playing right now with they're a super team. They're a super team. Right now.
I agree.
They're a super team.
And Mike Breen brought up a good point in the broadcast. He said that a lot of these players like Kadeem Allen, DJ, they haven't played with the Knicks all year, so the defense is going to struggle. But I mean, it's just, to me, it's effort, man. I mean, there was this one play where I swear Hezonja was like standing right there, and the guy just drove by him, and he did nothing. He literally just let him go to the hoop with no contention or anything at it. It's just like that. Just kind of flicks the defense in a nutshell right there to me.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
That's just ridiculous. But anyways, I want to talk about DJ for a sec because I've seen him in multiple games, and I'm talking about DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
I like his game. I think he fits well with the Knicks because he doesn't require the ball in his hands. He can score if he wants to. He rebounds at a high level. He passes the ball pretty good for a big. And on top of that, he holds players accountable. Did you see at that little timeout where he was kind of talking to the players, about the defensive laps or whatever it was? I like that. I want to see more of that from our elder statesmen, and I hope we re-sign him. I mean, I don't want to re-sign him to a lot of money, maybe a 1-year, 2-year deal, but I want to keep him because I think Mitch is 1 year away from being our starting center. 1 year away. I don't think he's ready to be a starter next year, but I could be wrong. I mean, he's impressing me every game, but I would like to keep DJ at least 1 more year, and then Mitch will be ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say this. I believe that, well, we'll see. I think that the Knicks probably would like to keep DJ around as well. I seen exactly what you saw when, he started, he lit into Kevin Knox about his defense. And you need that. Right. That's exactly what you need. You need to have a guy that's going to light into these, to these kids.
To be fair, DeAndre wasn't that good of a defender either, but I don't know.
And Knox's defense got to get better. I mean, his defense is terrible.
Knox is
he's a rookie. He's a rookie. It's understandable.
Right.
But he needs to work on defense all off season.
If you remember a couple shows ago, we took a look at Kevin Knox. We were looking at all of the players on our team, and Knox was like almost last in the league in individual defensive rating. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Let's give him his chance. He's a rookie. He's a rookie, so let's give him his chance and see what happens from there. Isaiah, I'm coming to you, man.
Hey, what's going on, son?
I'm good. What's going on? Talk to me about the game.
Yeah, first thing first, I just want to shout out to you. Shout out to John Macri. Shout out to Postin and Tosin. Shout out to all you guys, Knicks Fan TV, because, you got the beat writers that are going to talk about the 18 losses and talk about how the Knicks are trash rather than talk about the positive that come from the Knicks. I just want to shout all you guys out because, I keep the bright spots even though, because we're Knicks fans, we obviously know what's going on. They just add on to the crap. But you guys look at the positive and look at the things that we're growing with. So I just want to shout you guys out first, man.
Appreciate it.
I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it because it feels good to say it.
Okay.
I think Mitchell Robinson's our Bill Russell. I think he is. I know, Viv. I know. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but
I say Marcus Camby more.
Oh, I was gonna say healthy Marcus Camby too, actually. Like literally.
What makes you say that? Go ahead. Speak your piece, man. Speak your piece on that. Go ahead. Speak your piece.
I was watching the game, man. I'm just looking at this guy's presence, and it's like he doesn't even know what he's doing, and he's like a crazy, impactful defensive player, and it's just natural instincts. I mean, Nate, I know you didn't see the second half, but he had 2 impressive blocks on Joel Embiid. That I'm like, wow, this is literally the best center in the league, and you know he's a $150 soaking wet, and he's doing his thing. I mean, Sim, when this kid gets it, I mean, when he learns, and when he actually learns and puts on weight, I mean, it's not crazy to say that he can win multiple Defensive Players of the Year. It's not crazy to me. He's more athletic than Gobert.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid, he can do everything, man. I mean, maybe Bill Russell is too extreme. Maybe I'm sorry to say that. I should have just said Bill. I just wanted to say it because it felt good to say it, man. It felt good to say it. But
I say Marcus Camby.
He's a taller Marcus Camby.
He's probably more Marcus Camby. You're right. Yeah, you're right. He's probably more Marcus Camby. Yeah. But this kid, man. I mean, Sim. I mean, thank God for this kid, man. I mean, like, I'm gonna be real scared, Sim, if we get the first pick and the New Orleans Pelicans ask for Mitchell Robinson. I remember 2010, the Knicks were really on the fence because of Timothy Mozgov. But I'm sorry, man. If we have to do this for Anthony Davis and trade this kid, Sim, I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
No offense to Mozgov, but he ain't Mitch Robinson.
I really don't know if I would do it if I have to include Mitchell Robinson.
And lose Zion too.
I don't know, Sim. This kid has the potential to be that good. We should just go after the game. Let's talk about Mitchell Robinson all night. I can talk about Mitchell Robinson all night, man. This kid is something. Sim, if you would have told me in the beginning of the year, because I thought he was going to be a project, but if you would have told me he's going to be our best rookie, I mean, I wouldn't believe you. But this kid, man, this kid is something special, man, and he doesn't even. And Skin, this case, but he doesn't know what he's doing. He legit doesn't know what he's doing. That's the most beautiful part about Mitchell Robinson game, is that he's a lump of clay. He's beautiful defensive clay.
True.
And we have him.
And when you look at him and you watch him play, I mean, Mitchell Robinson is a kid. He looks like a kid. He's not the only one either, right?
Got plenty of them.
Plenty of guys out there. They look like kids.
Tax reform with H&R Block.
You know what I'm saying? They look like kids. And yeah, Isaiah, if I know you're trying to get your taxes done, man, but you can turn the H&R Block down. Right? You can turn the H&R Block down.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Okay?
Wait, Gilmore? No, it was Gilmore. Gilmore told me can you let him in the chat? Don't blame that.
I'm gonna let him in. I'm letting him in. I'm gonna ask you guys to do me a favor. As much as you can, try to keep your face centered, because I have, something kind of new where when one person is talking, I'm kind of blowing them up, and I have them, on the screen in a little box on the screen. So if you can keep yourself centered, your whole face centered. Like right now, Isaiah, we can't even, we can't see your mouth, we can't see anything. Yeah, try to keep yourself centered.
Am I good right here? Am I good?
Yeah,
am I good?
You're good. But
can you see my ears?
No, we can't. We can't. But yeah, man, Mitchell Robinson is the kid's got. I mean, you see him. Listen, it's so funny. Where I coach, we have a kid that he's in the 9th grade. He's 6'7", and he's uncoordinated. He wears like a size 17, 18 shoe already. He's probably going to be 6'10", 6'11", right? And he has a lot of talent and ability, but he's very, very uncoordinated. Very uncoordinated. Mitch Robinson reminds me of him. He reminds me of him. And Mitch Robinson is 20, right? He's 20 years old. But when you see him out there, he looks uncoordinated, right? He doesn't look like he has everything together yet, and he doesn't. And he's still able to score 14 points and 13 rebounds in a game and get however many blocks he got tonight. He's still able to do that when he's not even an NBA player yet. You know, that's it's impressive. It's impressive. And you know, when he finally becomes who he can be, you know.
Hey, what's up, Barry?
How you doing?
You know, when he finally becomes who he can be, he's going to be.
What's up, Gamble and G?
It's definitely going to be. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be real fun. Mitchell Robinson. We're talking about Mitchell Robinson.
Barry, I had a great time with you, man. You're a guy.
Yeah, big shout out.
Your wife's a sweet lady, man. Your wife's a sweet lady.
Big shout out to you, Gary. Big shout out. Oh, I love the shirt. I didn't even see the shirt. I love the shirt. Beautiful shirt. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful shirt.
Damn it, Barry, you're coming to the cookouts.
Let's get around. Let's talk to some of the other guys that joined us. Let's see. Guillermo, what did you think, man? What did you think about the game?
I saw a good fight from some of our younger players, man. Mitch player, man. That kick and play. I was really perplexed how Dotson kind of got cold in the second half. That kind of pissed me off, but I was also looking, like, again, is like the movement that we had in the first half. Even though he did have a lot of shots contested, they hit in the first half. The movement wasn't there for him, I guess, in the second half. So, because if we have, look, Sim, our bench score was 60, 70-some points. I mean, if we're going for the free agents next year, we definitely have to have guys who are the filling guys, right? We still have to have a starting shooting guard and stuff like that. So we got to discern who the proper guys are for the future. But definitely Mitch. I love Cornette with the threes coming off, man. All in all, I mean, Fizdale's not really coaching, but, you know, from what I saw from the younger guys, I loved it. And one thing, I'll be real quick, what I was talking with Isaiah about was that Fizdale has to be careful because everybody's supposedly on this tanking thing. But if these stars come next year and they say they don't like Fizz, our front office is going to favor those players over Fizz. So Fizz better hope that, you know, better have some contingency plan if players start to turn on him next year, if, you know, things don't go his way, because they might look at this year and be like, oh, he's not a good coach or whatever. I'm just saying, just to be careful. I know everyone's tanking, but, you know, just be careful, man, with Fizz.
Yeah. You know, and it's very obvious that we are in full out, straight up, truly just tanking because, you know, DeAndre Jordan was having a great game tonight too. And we see where DeAndre Jordan ended up for the night, right? But you know, well, you know, it is what it is. You know, at this point, you know, we take it for what it is.
Hey, Sim, if you can, I will tell you guys to go back to the previous game with that Cornet 3. I watched that game. That is the best. That's probably the best play of the season I've ever seen Fizdale run. With just the intricacy of that play and how they set the picks, that was like a old school Steve Novak pick play, having Cornet open. That was like the best scheme I've seen the Knicks run. Please go back and watch it. It was beautiful. If you watch how it comes out, it's absolutely beautiful. But I'll say that since everybody thinks I get on Fizz, but that was the best play I've seen all year. Coached up play.
All right. Well, you know, the one thing I'll say is I think that you know we have to give it some time, but I think that with Hardaway and those guys leaving, being, you know, they're gone, I think that Fizz is gonna, you know, he's gonna have more freedom. Not that he didn't have the freedom before, or he couldn't do it before, but I think he's going to. There's less pressure, and it's going to be easier to coach these kids, in my opinion. Barry,
Doing, Simeon?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Good. What do you think?
Well, I really like Cornette and Robinson at the same time. Why? A big why? Because he spreads out the floor. He really does. Yeah. He makes them think.
He does. Yep, he spreads out the floor. And I mean, it's
on the offensive side.
On the offensive side, yeah. You know, on the defensive side, there's some work to do. Now, he was going up against Embiid, so that's always going to be an issue. You know, he's got some work to do on the defensive side of the floor.
Right.
But on the offensive side, he allows us to open up the floor, which will lead to us seeing those Mitch Robinson alley-oops.
True.
True. When you have a player like Cornette that can open up the floor.
And
yeah, go ahead, Bear. Oh, you hear them guys in the background talking, those guys chumming your ear off in the background. I bet, right?
Yeah, I'm actually disabling the sound now so I can talk to you.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold on. Taking me a minute.
No, not a problem.
But no, everybody's disabled now. I really liked, I was screaming at TV, I think it was 1 or 2 games ago, when they had some of the other guys in there and they could have used the spreading of the floor with Cornette. And, the 3-point possible shot, I'm not saying he hit him tonight because he didn't, but, I really like the way that he spreads the floor along with Robinson's agility and athleticism,
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I'm definitely enjoying watching the young guys get a chance to play. I'm enjoying it. And watching them build their confidence. We've lost 18 in a row, and there is a real chance that we'll lose, that we could break the NBA record. But I'm going to enjoy watching these guys play. I'm just going to enjoy it. And I'm going to enjoy watching the leadership of DeAndre Jordan and Lance Thomas, because those are the 2 elder statesmen on the team. It's up to them to provide some leadership, and I think they're doing a decent job of it. Yeah,
I agree.
2 good guys. 2 good guys. I think they're doing a decent job of it.
Actually, they were talking more on defense tonight.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of Dennis Smith Jr.? Haven't had you on the show since Dennis Smith Jr. has been traded for. What do you think?
A lot of talent, but I think he's got to keep his head to him on him. In other words, sometimes I think he gets distracted. In trying to distracted by other people and what they say. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you there. I think one of the things
he loses his. I'm sorry, Simeon.
Go ahead. Finish up.
I think he loses his concentration, and when people are getting on him and trash talking him, he gets mad and his focus is gone. I really believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than that, he's a talented athlete.
He's a talented young man, and he's young, so he's got to learn how to, not fall into those traps of dealing with people, people talking to him and all those type of things. And, he's 21 years old, and the thing about him is he's that kind of player, right? He's the kind of guy that plays with, just like kind of a chip on the shoulder a little bit. And,
he does.
With those kind of players, a lot of times, you're going to get them responding to people when they talk to them and doing those type of things.
If he can get motivated instead of distracted, it's going to be better for him.
Yeah. And that's going to be something that he's going to have to learn how to do. Right? He's going to have to learn how to use it, use the energy that comes from people trash talking and all that type of thing and all that type of stuff. He's gonna have to learn how to use that energy to become motivated, to fuel him on the court. And I think he'll learn it. It'll take some time, but I think he'll learn it. I wish that we had on this team, I wish we had a veteran guard. I really do. Obviously we don't.
It would help, definitely.
Yeah. A veteran guard, I think, would help us so much for this team. And I coming back to it, and I know people don't want to hear it, but I can't think of his name now. But my guy, who we lost last year, I always, feel like he would have been perfect for this team.
He would. I know what you're talking about too, but I
can't think of his name.
Can't remember his name either.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I think he would have been perfect for this team. It would have been perfect for him with these young point guards on this team.
On a different note, I want to thank you and your family very much for all their hospitality that day we went for the MLK game.
Thank you.
You guys did a wonderful job.
I appreciate you very much. It. Thank you for being there.
My wife and I had a great time.
Thank you. We had a ball as well. Thank you for being there. We can't wait till the next one. I mean, I'm assuming the next one. Well, I don't know when the next one is going to be, but we've already had some people talking about, when KP comes back to the Garden, we got to be there. So we're definitely going to be looking forward to that one. Yeah,
we'll see what we can do to join you, because it was a great time. It really was.
Yeah, great. All right, let me get around and see what some other people. Let me talk to Ant, see what Ant thinks, and because I want to talk about Dennis Smith Jr. a little bit more. As soon as I can get over to unmute you, Ant, I'll get there. I'm trying, but my mouse is getting stuck along the way. And there we go.
All right, what's up, Sam?
What's going on with you, man?
Man, I may be in the minority here, but I can't stand Luke Cornett, man. I hate Luke Cornett.
You don't like Luke? Why?
No, I don't like Luke.
Why is that?
Because I feel like we gave his title as shooter, and I don't really think he's that great of a shooter.
You don't?
I mean, he's decent for a big man, but he takes a lot of them, misses a lot of them, and when he's not making them, he's really useless to me. So, I mean, that I guess it opened up the floor for Mitch a little bit, but I'd rather have seen, I don't know, man. I guess we don't have too many options, but but I'm not a big fan of Luke, man.
What's he shooting for the season? What is Luke shooting for the season?
I think it's over 40%.
Right. So if he's shooting over 40%, how is he not? Yeah, he's shooting from three. He's shooting 43% from three, 43% from just regular field goal percentage, 43% from three. So how is he not that good of a shooter then, in your opinion? If he's shooting 43%, now I know that's that's limited.
I feel like he hasn't that many minutes. I feel like if he plays starters minutes or well over 25, I feel like it would go down. And then on the offensive end, if he's not wide open, he's a liability because you can't really give him the ball. Like you can't really give him the ball. He's not that really a great passer. He's not gonna put it on the floor. So I guess don't like is strong, but I'm not a fan of Luke Cornett. I would prefer someone more versatile at that 4 spot next to Mitch. But he's a standstill shooter, and to me, that doesn't make him a great shooter. It just makes him a good open shooter. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, but I think that's basically what his role is going to be. I don't think his role is going to be anything more than that.
But do you think he's versatile enough to play that 4 spot though? I don't think offense, it's a weird setup.
But I don't think we need to have him playing that 4. I don't think we're going to need to have him playing that 4 spot 35 minutes a game. I think he's going to be, he's going to kind of be like Novak was. Novak was less mobile than him.
But Novak was a better shooter. I feel like Novak was.
Well, he might have been. Novak was knocked down. He was knocked down and knock him out shooter. When Novak got the ball, you can almost count on seeing a discount double check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was doing it for no reason, walking around the house just doing it.
But maybe Luke. Think about this. How old was Novak before he became that guy?
Yeah.
Right?
He was well. He was in his 30s. I feel like by the time he got to the Knicks,
maybe he was. I'm sure he might have been in his 30s by the time he got to the Knicks. So Luke is still pretty young.
Yeah.
We'll give him some time. Maybe he'll be that guy. Now Luke plays a little bit better defense, I think, because he can at least block shots and grab some rebounds like Novak did. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? So I think
I feel like his value's at the 5 spot. Him next to Mitch, I get what Fizz was doing, and it worked a little bit. I get it. And with that zone, you want more length on the court. So I totally get it, but I just don't think him at the 4 spot is a good idea going forward. I don't feel like it's a good idea because our offense got stagnant a lot with him at the 4. Like, Kadeem Allen would be looking for somebody to pass it to, and he has to give it to Cornette 30 feet away from the basket, and he can't do anything with it. And it made our offense kind of stagnate a little bit. So at the 5, I don't have a problem with Luke at the 5. But that's where I think he's valuable. But if he can protect the rim. But at the 4, I don't think he's versatile enough in today's NBA to play the 4.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that comes. I really do think he's going to be, just kind of a role player type of guy, and get spot minutes, kind of like Novak did. Novak wasn't getting 30 minutes a game; he was getting spot minutes, and I think we're going to see the same thing with. I think we're going to see the same exact thing with Luke Cornette if he sticks around. So I've been, watching Dennis Smith Jr. The more I watch Dennis Smith Jr., the more I see a few things here and there that start to come out that I'm not going to say, I don't like about him. I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying I see some things come out that I'd like to see him improve upon. One of the things that I've been noticing now, and before I get to that, big shout out to Travis Fisher again for the super chat. He said Mozgov had the worst Butterfingers ever. I don't know where Mozgov came in, but I guess they were talking about something in the YouTube chat. But Mozgov, I kind of liked Mozgov though. I wanted Mozgov to stick around. The QC, thank you for the super chat. You said your hard work shows on your channel, man. Keep it up. Appreciate that. Thank you. And Marty Nick said my favorite show. No doubt, Marty. Stay with me, bro.
I got called racist here. That's crazy.
But one thing that
Brendan the Great said King NG is always racist. That's hilarious.
I don't worry, man. Don't worry about those guys. I don't know. I don't think anybody in here is racist, man. I don't know. I don't think anyone in here is racist. But I want to know what you guys think about this. One of the things, in the beginning of this game, I think that I seen Dennis Smith Jr. maybe shoot the ball a little bit too much. He was a little thirsty for a hoop, for a basket. He started to catch a little bit of fire later on. But one thing I noticed with him is he jumps a lot when he passes the ball. And that's something that he's going to have to fix. I hope that Fizdale works with him on it over the summer. Walt Clyde Frazier mentioned it during the telecast one time. He didn't say that he does it all the time. In the telecast, he just said, Dennis Smith Jr. tried to make a pass and he left his feet. He was like, you got to stay on your feet. But I continued to watch it, and he does it frequently when he passes. He gets into the lane, and instead of staying on his feet, staying grounded and making a good pass or making a good kick out, he jumps. And then he kicks it out. Now, the problem with that, I know a lot of people might feel like, some people may feel, if you jump in the air, then the defense is going to think that you are, going to shoot the ball or do whatever, and you might draw them a little more. But the problem is you get yourself in trouble because you jump in the air and you get 3 people around you. You can't move. You have no base underneath you to be able to pivot out or make any kind of moves. And you have no ground underneath you to get good strength on your pass. That means your pass is all arm, right? And you may not have enough strength in those arms to get that pass out. I notice it a lot, though. He jumps in the air when he passes, when he gets into the lane. That's something that I think he's definitely going to need to work on, moving forward, just to become a better NBA player. You know what I'm saying? Is fixing that. You can't jump on those passes. Every once in a while, I used to do it. So that was one thing that coaches, referees, because when you're playing in games, referees, not in the NBA, but when you're in high school and even in college, referees will, say to you, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that, try doing this or that. And I used to get it. You're jumping on your passes. You're jumping on your passes. And I had to learn not to jump on my passes to stay grounded. He's I see Soul Gold said DSJ panics and passes. He's not a smart passer. He can become a better passer. He gets himself in trouble sometimes. I do notice that he gets himself in trouble. I'm going to, just push that off on him being a young player. And, when you have a young player, in my opinion, we have a young player that has a lot of talent, the ability to jump, they get in trouble. Speed, when we got a young player that has speed, the ability to jump, as athletic as he is, you're going to see, in my opinion, some of those type of mistakes. They're going to get themselves in trouble because you believe that your speed and your jumping ability is going to get you through almost everything. And so then you get yourself in trouble and you find out that it doesn't get you through everything. It's going to take us some time to learn it, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Carrie 420 said Smith does that because he's thinking shoot first. He could, maybe that could be. He's going and he wants to, he's trying to get his shot up, and then his second thought is to pass it out, and then he's in trouble. That could be too. I'm not gonna, I'm not going to disagree with you. You could be right. It's a good tape. Let me see. Nate, what's up, Nate? Oh, 1 second. There you go, Nate.
Yeah, so my thoughts on Dennis Smith, what you're kind of highlighting, I think is kind of one of the reasons why Dallas wanted to trade him or put him on the block, because he didn't kind of fit what they wanted. I think they wanted more of maybe a pure point guard or some guy who was going to help get other players involved, and Luka Doncic obviously is more of that player. So I think that's why they decided to look at trading him. Second point is his game kind of reminds me of Russell in the sense that he is aggressive to the hoop and he doesn't take the smartest shots in the world. And he's kind of got like that alpha dog mentality. And, here's the thing. When you got a player like that, it's good and bad. Because it's good because you like the confidence. You like that he's not going to back down from a challenge. But it's bad in the sense that he can make himself bigger than the game. And can kind of not know his place where he's only been in the league not even less than 2 years. So he needs to humble himself a little bit more. But, it's tough because he is a talented player, and you see that ability. But he needs to be honed in and reined in. And I don't know if Fizdale's going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's what kind of concerns me.
I get you there. And I think that's probably a lot of people's concerns, whether or not Fizdale is going to be able to, hone him in and, bring him in and turn him into a point guard. Or do you want to bring him in and turn him into a point guard?
Well, I think you need to try to emphasize more of.
Go ahead, Nate.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, I think you need to emphasize the passing ability a little bit more. Like he doesn't have to take every shot or look for his shot all the time. I think he realizes that there are going to be other players on this team that if he just helps them get their spots, like, we talk about Ntilikina. Ntilikina does a really good job at times of getting players in their spots. If maybe he can do that a little bit more, he can be an effective point guard because he's got the aggressiveness, the ability to shoot, but his next part of his game needs to be more of, hey, I need to kind of be a facilitator at certain times because defenses are going to hone in on me and are going to try to take me out of the game.
Yeah.
From a scheme standpoint.
Okay. Now let's see what happens though when Ntilikina gets back, because right now he's on the floor with Damian Dotson, right, at that guard spot, and Dennis Smith Jr. needs to be the facilitator. Right. And I'm not ready to say that he can't be a facilitator because I think that he's young and he's a talented kid. But let's see what happens when Frank Ntilikina gets back, and now Dennis Smith Jr. can be that scorer, and Frank Ntilikina can be the facilitator, right?
Exactly.
The one that lets people get into their spots,
yeah.
right? Now, the thing is, Dennis Smith Jr. is probably still going to have the ball in his hands more than Frank, right? So, we'd have to look to see how they work, how it works out. And, people can all, I'm sure there's a lot of people that'll say, well, when Frank was on the floor with like Tim Hardaway or something like that, Frank still did whatever they want to say. I think the difference though is that Dennis Smith Jr. is still someone who can create a little bit for other people. Even so now you have two guys on the floor that can create instead of just one. And I think that could make a big difference.
Yeah.
That can make a big difference. So, let's see how it looks when you got Frank on the floor with Dennis Smith Jr. and see if that makes a difference.
And let's be honest too. He's just been thrown into this team. I mean, the only player he really connects with chemistry wise is DeAndre Jordan because they played together. So, if we decide to keep him past the summer, I'd like to see how he gels with the guys like Knox and Mitch Robinson and all these other guys, because he could be a very effective point guard. But I think he just got thrown in here, and a lot of the good players are gone. So it's kind of like you're having to start from scratch.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you. We got to give it some time. And, I think if we give it some time, man, I think we're going to see some positive things if we give it some time. Let me see.
Agreed.
Let's see who we got next. I think I've seen Isaiah. Isaiah, go ahead. Nate, you're still unmuted.
Go ahead,
Isaiah. Go ahead, Isaiah.
Just to piggyback what Nate was saying, so my biggest fear with Dennis Smith Jr. was maybe two things that scared me the most about Dennis Smith Jr. when we got him was the defense and the decision making. I was again, I kind of like we had Moutier and they both don't play defense like Moutier, even though Dennis probably plays a little bit better defense than Moutier, which isn't saying that much. But his decision making I always question it a little bit because I feel like Dennis got assists because he has a point guard body, not because he's a point guard, if that makes sense. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think I know what you're trying to say. Mm-hmm.
And, it's going to be more curious because me personally right now, I think Frank's a better pure point guard when it comes to facilitating because that's what he's naturally better at. From what I watch, Dennis Smith Jr. is not, to me, a guy that puts people in the best position to score. I think Frank does that better. Personally, right now, I just don't know how. What scares me about them not working is if Frank does have the ball, Dennis Smith Jr. is not really that good off the ball. Like that was his big issue in Dallas with playing with Luka Doncic, who was a better playmaker than him, was that he wasn't really.
Coach, two sides of this. First half, can you talk about your defense?
Sorry about that.
You just disrespected me, Sim. I didn't like that, but okay.
Disrespected you.
I wouldn't do you like that, but okay.
I know you wouldn't. That was some disrespect. My bad.
That's all right. Listen, if we was on the street, there'd be some furniture moving. No, but I do have hope because I do believe because they are good friends and I do think they have chemistry that you can see that. I do hope it works because I just think Dennis Smith should be working a little bit off the ball a little bit more so he could get used to that because like I said, I think Frank right now is the better facilitator even though Dennis could be better in the future. I just hope it can work well because again I'm just really scared of him not being really active without the ball in his hand, which he's used to because he's an AAU baby and he needs the ball in his hand to work. So we'll see how it is, man. And I think Viv had his hand up, so go, Viv. Sorry to say that to you, Sam. Took the power.
I know.
You said it's Viv's turn.
Look at that. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let Isaiah host the show.
No, don't let me do that because it'd be cussing and
I'm scared to do that. I don't know what's gonna happen if Isaiah was the host of the show. Who knows what'll happen in here? YouTube will shut me down, man. YouTube will shut me down. Go ahead, Viv.
So about Dennis Smith Jr., right? I think one of his biggest like strengths or positives and negatives to his game right now is I feel like he like is very passionate about the game, or very he wears it on his sleeve to an extent. Like he's very emotional in it. So there are times where it's like, all right, if things are not going right, he like takes it to heart too much, and sometimes.
Right.
So he tends to get frustrated pretty quickly. And I felt like today what happened was that Ben Simmons kind of just like messed with his head in the first half, and then after that, he was just really never the same. And you kind of saw it for the most part. The defensive energy was not the same as it was before, in previous games. He wasn't really attacking aggressively. He was a little deferential on that aspect. So he wasn't really the same today, but I feel like he let some of this whole emotions with whatever happened with Simmons just get to him. I think the key for him is he can work off the ball. We saw there was a play they ran where DeAndre fed him a pass off the ball and he dunked it. So there's a lot of ways for him to contribute both on and off the ball. I think the main keys is this, right? Mm-hmm. Just to stay composed throughout the game and stay even keeled. Second part is obviously which will come over time, is the shot. And but if you stay even keeled about it, then the struggles you may have with their shot, it won't truly bother you over the course of time, and it won't really get into your head too much.
Right.
And then obviously I think the third part of the passing thing, you made a good point about how he tends to have a tendency to jump. And I think part of that is because he takes his athleticism for granted, in a sense where it happens to a lot of point guards. They're like, oh, I can do this because I can get into the paint this quickly, So there are certain passes he tries to make. It's all right, it's almost like it's almost like not too easy, but it's very deliberate, very simple in that way. So, if he just focuses on like the basics in a sense, and just gets passes to people on time, and doesn't try to force things too much, then he'll be okay the rest of the season. And I think overall I don't have a lot of complaints from him on that end. It's just hopefully we get to see more of that, and maybe come the off season, I want to also stay hungry too, just like all our other point guards did last summer, where no one felt like they are guaranteed a spot. I still want Dennis Smith Jr. to feel that type of hunger that this starting spot, this rotation minutes are not guaranteed. And if he has that mentality in him, then he will become a lot better player.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen to Coach David Fizdale. This is Fizdale talking. Well, just talking about the game. All right. Let's take a listen. Real quick.
Coach, two sides of this. First half, can you talk about your defense? You gave up 71. And then can you also talk about your bench play where you scored 74 with the bench?
First half we could not get a stop, whether it was them scoring a basket or us fouling them. But it seemed like every single possession down the floor, they were leaving with some kind of basket. But again, we got a tough group. They fight back. I think we got it all the way back to 6 at some point, and a lot of that was our bench. We have 4 guys in double figures, and Lance Thomas is just Lance Thomas. I love the dude. That is, oh damn! I was out the door. I was about to be like,
I'm so sorry.
Come on, hit me. Give it to me. Come on.
You stuck with both Kadeem and Alonzo pretty deep. Alonzo pretty deep into the fourth quarter. What have they been showing you lately, particularly those two guys?
I guess it's because they're his old teammates. They play well together. But tonight, I thought they had it going well. It just hit a point where they got tired there down the stretch. But I was happy to see Zoe really get the ball going through the net. Kadeem has just been on a little tear, playing great basketball for us. So I like that kid. He's a tough kid, and he really works at it, and to see his success is a good thing for us.
Coach, Mitchell's play tonight obviously stood out. How much is it a confidence boost for him, particularly playing against a player like Embiid?
I mean, we know what Embiid can do. I mean, the guy is a special talent, you know, top 3 centers, I guess, or whatever. I don't know how to rank these guys. He's just great. And from a young rook to go out there and take the challenge against him and just at least, you know, put up a real fight, you know, on both ends of the floor, I think that's going to be great for his confidence. And you know, the kid is just every game, he just keeps getting a little bit better and a little bit better. And, you know, I'm scared to see what he's going to be 3 years.
You tried to match up big with them at the start with the lineup, and then did something happen with Hezonja?
Yeah, he got kicked in the leg or something like that, and they had to check him out at halftime. And then by the time he came out, you know, I just went with what we were going with, and then the second unit came in and got it rolling. So I just held him out, and then we'll revisit again in Atlanta.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, small recap from David Fizdale in regards to, and let me go ahead and take this stuff about it. There we go. Small recap from David Fizdale in regards to the game. I don't think he said anything that we didn't know, right, about the game. Mitchell Robinson, of course, you know, had a great game tonight. 14 points, 13 rebounds, matched up against Joel Embiid. He even threw Joel Embiid's shot one time, which I was excited about that. I was amped when he threw Joel Embiid's shot. Basic game from the New York Knicks. You know, what we expected. I want to hear from Mitchell Robinson. And, you know, we'll hear from Mitchell Robinson in a second. And then we will continue. We'll recap the game, look at stats and all that kind of stuff. Before we finish up, we heard Mario Hezonja mentioned. He's been starting the last few games. Anyone want to chime in on Mario Hezonja and what you think about, you know, Mario Hezonja, what his future with the Knicks going to be? Nate?
Yeah, I think Fizdale was being nice about saying he might have got hurt. I think his defense was pathetic. And Fizdale just could not put him out there because he was just getting blown by everybody that was that he was guarding. And I mean, he's a nice player. I had more expectation of him being more of a scorer and aggressive. I don't see that. I see shades of it, like that dunk where he cocked back and made that dunk against the Cavs.
That was nasty.
But I don't see enough of that. You know, I want to see more aggression to the hoop. You know, I want to see more consistent shots. I want to see better effort on defense. I think the defense is the worst. I mean, he just can't. He can't keep guys in front of him. You know, and it was blatant in that one play. I tell you, like he literally showed no effort, and the guy literally just went up and made a layup, like as if it was a drill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was bad. And I think Fizdale's like, I can't have that out there. I mean, I got to have some kind of defense. Right. You know, and I mean, I don't think we re-signed him. I mean, I had hopes for him, but yeah, I mean, we need to put our money somewhere else.
What do you think that he gets on the market? Tell me that.
What he gets on the market? Oh,
yeah. No. What do you think he gets on the market?
Shoot, I could see somebody throwing like 15, maybe.
You think he gets 15?
You got to think about, man. Free agency is ridiculous nowadays. They'll throw money at anybody. He's still young. He's still got potential. I could see him getting 13 to 15 million offer. Somebody gonna give it to him. Okay. Hell, it might be Orlando again. Orlando might say, you know what? We might take this guy back. You never know.
I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see. Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen to Mitchell Robinson real quick, and you know, see what he's got to say about his game versus Joel Embiid. This is Mitchell Robinson, ladies and gentlemen.
You had a chance to go up against Joel Embiid tonight. Is it fair to say, since you missed the last game, that you're a completely different player than you were the first time you faced him earlier this year?
Yeah, because the first time we played, I was kind of struggling, then this time came out with a little bit more of a different, energy, came out here faster, stronger, and, played hard.
Tonight, he just told me that you have incredible talent and he sees a bright future for you in this league. What does it mean to have one of the best bigs in the game, talking about how hard it is to go up against your long, word I'm not going to say, arms?
I appreciate him saying that for me. That's, he's been one of the biggest bigs in the league and one of the best. That's a great honor for me. Made me want to work even harder, play even harder, and, just get better.
How did he challenge you tonight, and how does that make you a better player?
Well, tonight I didn't get in foul trouble. Last game I did get in foul trouble a little bit. So, just watching and learning kind of helped me out.
Mitchell Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, played a pretty good game against who is maybe the best big man in the league. If he's not the best, he's right up there with those guys. As a matter of fact, I don't know who was I listening to. I don't know if it was. I'm not sure who I was listening to, but I think maybe it was Stephen A. Smith. And they asked Stephen A. Smith if he was Philadelphia and Anthony Davis wanted to come to Philadelphia, if he would make that trade. And for all intents and purposes, he said no. Basically, because if you made the trade, you would have to give up some assets when you get almost the same production from Joel Embiid. He may not be the exact same player as Anthony Davis, but he gives you a lot of the same production. And if you got to give up a first-round draft pick to get Anthony Davis, because the Pelicans wouldn't be giving him up, I doubt that they'd be doing a straight trade. It just wouldn't be worth it. And I think I agree with him. Joel Embiid, man, he's on his way to being a monster. And, to have a guy like Mitchell Robinson that in a few years should be able to play defense on Joel Embiid is a big, big, big plus for the New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying? As we're building. Let's talk about Philadelphia for a second. The Philadelphia 76ers have a lot of pieces, folks. They have a lot of pieces on this team. I'm impressed with the way that they've been able to, fit some pieces together in such a short period of time. They look good so far. And maybe it's just because, we're picking up Harris, he just fits right into what Philadelphia is trying to do. But, Philadelphia can be scary. And if there's a team in the East, obviously I'm a New York Knicks fan. And, you hate to root for a rival. But if there's any rival that I'm going to be rooting for, I think Philadelphia might be the team. I like what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I see a question in the super chat that I'm going to answer shortly. So we'll get to that. I want to know what you guys think about Philadelphia. I'm going to get to this phone call first, and then we'll talk about Philly. All right. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Sim?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all right.
Tell me, what do you think about Philadelphia, my man?
Oh, man. I think Philadelphia's in a couple weeks, they need to gel. I think they need to gel a little bit. They're going to be the real deal.
Yeah, they'll be the real deal, man. Philadelphia has something going on. Can they keep these guys together? We don't know, but they got something going on.
Yeah, I'm a little bit angry because they got Tobias Harris, because I thought Tobias Harris would have been a little sneaky guy we would have got in free agency. I don't, but Joel Embiid is a superstar. He's the best center in the league. There's nothing he can't do. It's amazing to watch. And Ben Simmons is, he's been getting dunked on recently, but still, Ben Simmons is an amazing point guard.
Yeah.
That team, and they have a nice bench, especially that Boban. I've never seen him really, because we only see the Clippers twice a year, but That Boban, he's a little scary if he gets.
He's huge.
He can go in there and do all the stuff. I mean, he's not a frail 7'3".
No, he's huge, and he has a big head.
Yeah, he looks like
monster-sized head.
But no, I wanted to talk because that guy earlier who said Mario Hezonja is going to get $15 million. You're insane. Maybe for 3 years. The Knicks only gave him 6, and he's played horrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
and maybe that's what he was meaning. Maybe he was meaning $15 million for 3 years. We're gonna get back and talk about Mario Hezonja a little bit more. Maybe that's what he was meaning. Over 3 years.
I just wanted to say that dunk by Kevin Knox.
Nasty.
That was a thing of beauty. That was a thing of beauty. If you can take the losing when you see stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then other than that, Mitchell Robinson, DeAndre Jordan may have turned that kid into a monster. I mean, I don't know how much DeAndre Jordan's going to want next year. I don't know. I'd give him 15 a year, maybe for 2 or 3 years, just to have him do what he's doing with Mitchell Robinson in 5 games.
Well, I think all of that is going to depend on what happens in free agency for the Knicks. Honestly, yeah. I think it all depends on that.
But I mean, Mitchell Robinson in 5 games, DeAndre Jordan's been there, is one of the most consistent. I mean, there's a lot of good centers out there who aren't putting up the numbers he's putting up, and he's a monster. People don't go to the hole when he's in the game.
Yeah.
People don't we actually have a chance because people unless they get him on he has to go to guard another guy. You see point guards and you see power, you see guys driving to the hole and stopping and passing out because Mitch Robinson's in front of them. I mean, that's a great thing to see. So, no, I want to hear what everybody has to say, and have a good night.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Have a good one. Yeah, Nate, he said you crazy, man. He said Mario Hezonja is not getting no $15 million. I told him, I don't think you meant $15 million a year. You probably meant $15 million over the life of the contract. Yeah, so I want to hear what you guys think about Philadelphia, man, after what you've seen tonight. Do you think Philadelphia is, they got to at least be 2. Do you think they are the lock? I guess you can't call them a lock. Just what are your chances? What do you think they're going to do coming out of the East? You think they can come out of the East? Let me see. Isaiah, I'm going to come to you first, and then I'm going to come to Barry. I want to know what you think about Philadelphia. Isaiah, it's on you, bro. Isaiah?
Actually, Nick Wright, stop lying because a lot of my friends who work at ESPN.
See that he's on the short bus again. I guess I'll go to Barry first. I'll go to Barry. Barry, what do you think about Philadelphia, man?
I think they got a good team. I think it's going to be actually between them and Toronto. I know everybody's putting Boston up there, but I really think Toronto and Philadelphia.
Boston. Know what's up with Boston, man? It's just not happening with Boston the way that they thought it was going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Too much infighting, I think. Too much. The young guys want the ball now because they did well last year in the playoffs, and the old guys are saying, "Hey, it's a different team than it was last year."
Yeah.
Let's go.
How much with Boston? We're going to get back to Philadelphia, but with Boston, how much is it that? You got Kyrie came back, Gordon Hayward came back. How much is it that these guys, it just doesn't mix, and that when you had the Jason Tatums coming on and everyone else without having Kyrie there and those stars there, right? That those guys were able to flourish, and that maybe they would have been better if they didn't have Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, and those guys were able to continue to flourish. You know what I mean? Everyone talks about, well, they didn't have a closer, and that's the reason why they couldn't advance any further. But maybe Jason Tatum or whomever would have developed into a closer if you gave him a little bit of time. Now, I mean, I get Danny Ainge. You know what I'm saying? You want to construct the best team possible. But when you bring in guys, undoubtedly, some players are going to. I mean, somebody has to be subdued just a little bit. How much do you think those two guys coming back has hurt the chemistry of the team?
Well, that's the problem. The young guys got a lot of confidence last year because the ball was in their hand a lot of the time last year. Now this year, it's not in their hand as much, and they want it. And they said they think they proved themselves last year. And the old guard's saying, "Hey, we're the stars. You're not the stars. You guys are gonna have to play off the ball and get your chances when you get your chances."
Right.
My opinion, anyways.
Yeah. It's tough. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with Boston. But
I'll tell you another team. There's the Bucks team has got a chance too. They're playing very well.
Yeah, the Bucks team they're really good. They're really, really good. They're really good. It's going to be interesting. The East is definitely going to be interesting. You know what I'm saying? When playoff time comes, the East is going to be it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because we're making some strides. A lot of players are coming back East. We're making some strides. We'll see what happens there. All right,
definitely
Isaiah.
More competitive now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Isaiah, I'm gonna give you one more chance, man. Give you one more chance.
Huh?
Go ahead, man. What do you think about Philadelphia?
Philadelphia. I see Philadelphia, man, and I see what the Knicks can become, and I see that hopefully we can strive for where they are because it's crazy saying that you called them a super team, and I promise you, 3 years ago, somebody, if you would have said Philly's gonna have a super team in 3 years, they would have looked at you like you're crazy,
Maybe they would have looked at me like I was crazy, but maybe they would have said, if they continue to follow the process, they will have a super team. You're right. And I was watching them. I was just watching them like, wow, man, this is the same team that had the historic. They literally had the historic worst record of all time. I think 2012, the lockout season. So it's just amazing to see where they at. Yeah, I mean I think they had a couple years ago 26 losses straight.
Well, I think during the lockout season, or maybe that was the Charlotte Bobcats. I forgot. It was either them or the Sixers. They had a historic, percentage-wise, the worst record of all time. I think that was either the Bobcats or the Sixers. I forgot, but yeah, man. I'm just I look at them and I just hope that the Knicks can keep up what they're doing and trust their process of their own and keep going. Now, are you talking about how you think the Sixers are going to do in the playoffs as well?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about how the Knicks? Well,
how are the Sixers going to do in the playoffs? What do you think?
To be real with you, Sam, I think they're going to fold.
You think so?
Me personally, I think they're going to fold.
Why?
The X factor is Jimmy Butler, and to me, ever since they got Tobias Harris, it feels like, and even before I watched a couple of the games. Even before, I feel like Walt Clyde Frazier said it. Sometimes he's there and sometimes he isn't. He disappears a little bit to me. And also, I don't think they can beat the Celtics. And when it comes down to it, they match up. And that is, to me, one of the definitions of matching up horrible against a team, because they just don't match up well against the Sixers, the Celtics. And I think if they meet in the playoffs, I think the Celtics will beat them. Because Al Horford plays great, against Embiid, and he just slows them down, and then they play great against Simmons too. So it's like I'm fully not committed to the Sixers because I just think they're fold in the playoffs. I think it's gonna be either Toronto or Milwaukee to come out of the East. I just think they have a better complete team, a more balanced and more knowing their roles. Because I think right now I just don't trust them right now, the Sixers, because I watched the game against the Celtics, and even with all the firepower, and they're at full strength right now, they can beat a team without Kyrie Irving. So
yeah,
I just don't see it with them right now. Like I said, I think it's either gonna be Toronto or the Bucks to come out the East, but we'll see.
All right. I'm gonna come to Nate. What do you think, Nate?
So honestly, and I might be in the minority on this one, but I still think Boston's a team to beat in the East, and I'll tell you why. Because Kyrie, it's now showing that the Boston's a better team without Kyrie. Tatum takes his game to another level. Rozier plays better. It seems like all the players fit back into the mold when Kyrie wasn't playing. And on top of that, Horford can lock down Embiid. There's not a lot of players in the NBA that can lock down on a guy like Embiid. Horford can. And I think that that's what's going to make it difficult for the Sixers. Because one thing about the Sixers, there's games where they look like the best team in the East, and then there's games where they look lost. They don't look as good. You know, and the Celtics for some reason have the Sixers number. And I'll tell you what, I don't trust anybody else in the Eastern Conference because all these other teams have not made it deep like the Celtics have. And the Celtics can lock down on defense. And I think that at the end of the day, if you're gonna make it to the finals, it's gonna start with defense. And the Celtics arguably are one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. And I just think, like I said, without Kyrie, if he's out for a while, I mean, it might be a blessing.
Okay. All right. Well, you could be right. Let's get back to the Knicks for a second. Kyrie Irving obviously is a target of the New York Knicks in free agency. Right? My question is, given this injury, how much of a target is he going to be? I have not looked to see the extent of the injury. I haven't looked to check out any of that. Right? I just want to get Nate. I'm gonna start with you since you've already been on it. What do you think?
Okay. So here's my thought on Kyrie, and I'm probably gonna get flack on the chat about this too, but bring it on. I think Kyrie reminds me of Melo somewhat, where he's an ISO guy. He doesn't play a lot of strong defense, and he doesn't really make other players better. Now, I get he's had a career high in assists this year, but I feel like a lot of those assists are hollow. They're not like he's making players better. He's just making plays when he gets double teamed, or if he's in the lane, he kicks it out, or whatever it is. I don't want him. And the knee injury does bother me because he's had knee injuries in the past, and they're starting to become a common theme. And the last thing we want to do is take a player that has knee injury problems. I mean, we saw that with KP. That was probably one of the big reasons why we traded KP, because that knee injury was serious. And Kyrie is, I don't know, he just doesn't look like himself anymore. He looks like those knees have really gotten bad, and he doesn't have that burst or that quick step like he used to. I mean, yeah, he still makes those crazy moves and, you know, puts people on skates, but I just don't see the same Kyrie. I mean, and I don't want nothing to do with him.
Okay. Let's get around to the chat and see what people think about Kyrie, man. Viv, I'm going to come to Viv, and then I'm going to come down to Guillermo. I'm pretty sure Guillermo and want to chime in on this. Viv, what do you think?
Oh, Kyrie Irving's injury scares. Yeah, I mean, he has injury concerns, and he's one of those players that's, you know, gonna have a lot of maintenance. He's not gonna be an 82 guy player. I don't think, has he ever even played 82 games? I doubt it. Is it a concern? Yeah, I mean, I guess it is. It sucks, but the problem is when you have guys who just rely on their athleticism to score all the time, you're gonna have a lot of these issues with your knees. There's no other way around it. I mean, if you look in the history books, you know, how many guys that rely on athleticism to get buckets, how many of them actually stay relatively durable over the course of career. And there's just not a lot of players like that. So, does it concern you? It probably does. I mean, but are you willing to sacrifice, say, a few games in the season to make sure Kyrie can play every game in the playoffs? You know, I mean, Kyrie's on a different tier, right? Like Kyrie, the thing with Kyrie Irving, he's compared to other guards that are out there, and especially the ones that we have on our roster. Obviously, you know, we're talking a whole different tier of point guard. You know, Kyrie Irving's on his own level. So if you have the opportunity to get him, you know, you get him, and then you just work with him, work around him in a sense to ensure that he doesn't have to take the lion's burden of all the minutes, and he can actually stay relatively fresh over the course of the season. But, you know, unfortunately, it's part of the territory. There's really not much you can do about it to an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know any better way to say it.
It's scared. This is what scares me about Kyrie Irving. He's had injury problems since Duke, right?
Right. He's had injury problems since Duke. Yeah.
Right. As a matter of fact, how many games did he play at Duke?
Let me pull it up right now.
Single digits, I think, right?
Yeah, I think he missed at least half that freshman year or whatever.
So, you know, it's nothing new. It's been a problem throughout his whole career. And if you're gonna sign him, I can guarantee you're not signing him for 1 or 2 years, right? We're gonna be signing him
4 years.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
And he's 26 years old now. 4 years, he'll be 30. I just get afraid that, you know, he's had early in his career, you know, the Cavs weren't really making the playoffs. LeBron came and they made the finals. How many years straight? 4 years straight, was it? 3-4 years straight?
Well, with Kyrie, it was 3 years, but yeah, with LeBron, it's pretty much been every year since 2010.
So yeah, right. But with Kyrie and the Cavs, Kyrie's been to the finals, 3 years, 4 years straight, or whatever it was before last year. So there's a little bit of mileage on him. I just wonder how much does he hold up? Is he going to be there when we need him?
That's I'm looking at the injuries he's had over the course of his career.
Mm-hmm.
So what sidelined him in college was a toe injury. Then in his rookie year, he had a shoulder sprain. And then the year after that, he actually missed quite a few games with a broken hand, finger. And then he had like a finger, jaw, and left shoulder sprain. In 2014, he had a broken nose, a bruised knee, and a bicep strain. And the injury that really actually led to the injury last year was the fractured kneecap in the finals. Now, that was a tough injury because I believe he missed a good chunk of the 2015-16 season recovering from the injury.
Right.
Now, I believe he had a different injury before, and let me look at the 2018. I want to see what injury he actually had. He had so he had, what was it? They had to remove a wire in his left knee. It was basically a maintenance injury. It wasn't a new injury last year. It was a fixing an issue from the kneecap.
Right.
So that is probably, I don't know. I think that will always linger in our minds. Okay, so that's the big injury that he has to deal with it. And I think obviously it could easily happen to his other knee, but I mean,
it just scares me a little bit. You know what I mean? It just scares me a little bit.
It does. I mean, it scares me too, Sim. I'm just wondering. We haven't found a real solution to durability so far with players. I feel like unless you're a Russell Westbrook or a LeBron James or Giannis to an extent, who are true physical beasts to a certain level.
Right.
I feel like everyone has gone through this. There's no. Unless maybe you're not like a super athletic player and you just don't rely on athleticism.
Right. G, I think his name was G in the chat, said that Kyrie will be the next Amari Stoudemire for us, and that's what scares me. That scares me. It is super hard to pass up on Kyrie. How can you? And so how can you? But it does make me nervous.
I mean, with the thing with Amari though is, so I remember that Amari we didn't insure the contract.
Right, that was the thing with Amari.
That was a killer. And the problem is playing in D'Antoni's system meant that he had to play 38 minutes a game.
Yeah,
or some ridiculous amount. Right. So that probably will not happen now. It's tough. I mean, the real question is, you have to put him on a maintenance program. I mean, he's gonna probably want it too, but you can't be playing 40+ minutes a night, until the playoffs. But it does scare you. I mean, I understand why people are scared about the injury. It's just that, if you're in a position to get someone like a Kevin Durant, right, and you have a position, you're looking for that second player, you can't fill that internally. No one's going to come out internally and be that second, be second fiddle to Kevin Durant, or other way around, be the alpha dog to Kevin Durant. Yeah. So, you're tough. It's a tough position.
Yeah. I'm leaving you unmuted for a second, Viv. Come right back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you get a chance, take a second, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and get a notification anytime that I go live. All right? So do that for me, and subscribe to the channel. Next question. I'm going to start with you, Viv.
Yep.
And this comes from the chat. Big shout out for the super chat from, let me get to it real quick, from DT1 Kenobi. Says, Sim, objectively, what do you think Trier's ceiling is? It's a tough question, because Alonzo Trier has not been the Alonzo Trier that was at the beginning of the season, right? He's been Alonzo Trier's been, he's going through some rookie things, I guess we should say. Right? He's going through some rookie things. I think Alonzo Trier can still be a good player in this league. He's going to have to figure out. Defenses figured him out. Now he's got to figure out how to counter those defenses. Right? And I think that's the issue right now with Alonzo Trier. What do I think his ceiling is? I don't know. I think his ceiling is probably going to be coming off the bench for a good team. Off the bench, Lou Williams type of a guy. Maybe not as good as Lou Williams, but one of those type of guys. Right? That's what I think about Alonzo Trier. I think he's going to have a pretty good career, though, in the NBA. I think he should have a good career. Plenty of 6 men in the NBA have had great careers. So, that's what I think he'll be. That's what I think. What do you think, Viv?
Yeah, I think he'll be potentially his ceiling's a 6 man, and if he's not a 6 man, at the minimum, his floor might be somewhere around, a decent 7th to 8th man in the NBA. And mind you, 7th to 8th man is not a bad position you're in. There's not a lot of people that can be a consistent 7th or 8th man in the league. I think Trier can be a guy, depending on how much work he puts in his game. He could be one of those guys that, could end up just being a hooper in a sense, and just having a long, basketball career, just being a hooper in a sense that Lou Williams was, in a sense that Jamal Crawford is to an extent now. I mean, both of them is actually to now. Lou Williams and Jamal Crawford. I feel like both, he can be a hooper. I guess the real question for him is, can he really be a combo guard in this league? And can he be somebody that, can get you a few assists a game, can get you buckets at a decently efficient rate, somewhere like 44, 45%. And can he also hit the three in this, modern day and age? Right. That will be the question. That will separate him from being, somewhere near the end of the bench to somewhere around 7th, 6th man. Max.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has the volume per se. Like I never really saw it as like a pure microwave guy to be a six man. I mean, he could if he is that type of player. I mean, I'll be quite impressed. I mean, I think some of the earlier flashes are more just it's more facade in that type of way. I don't know, but if he can be a microwave shooter, a scorer, then six man's, for his taking. I think that will be his best role. But I like the idea of coming off the bench because that gives him the most opportunity to do the most damage without having the pressure of being a starter.
Yeah. I just seen Lee Jones in the chat said his ceiling is OJ Mayo. Where is OJ Mayo? What happened to OJ Mayo? I used to
he
like
got the
OJ
drug
Mayo.
bust, didn't he? So
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. No, that's not his ceiling. Please don't say that's a ceiling. We don't want Alonzo Trier going out like OJ Mayo. We don't want that. All right.
OJ Mayo was a little different scenario. Steroids eventually destroyed his career.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm trying to remember Mayo. Mayo was actually very extremely hyped up prospect that never really amounted to much. But he is also a much bigger, stronger player in the league.
Yeah.
And I don't think their games actually are anywhere close to that.
No.
Not from what I remember, at least. Let
me get around. Let me get to Guillermo. I want to know what Guillermo thinks about. I'm gonna ask you two questions, Guillermo. I want to ask you about Kyrie and I want to ask you about Trier. See what you think.
Sure.
Guillermo. All right, Kyrie. Are you scared?
Very. That knee, Sim, as you know, man. Two parts that I think are the scariest returns in regards to injuries. Achilles and Kyrie is not he's not the fast, he's not Derrick Rose, but because he has such a good hezi, he needs that knee to kind of explode and come back down, on a moment's notice.
Right.
So, and that thing's been giving him trouble. He had to take out a nail or whatever during the summer. He couldn't play through the whole playoffs. And then he's putting more minutes on his playoffs this year, Sim, because think about it. That Celtics team is supposed to beat the Cavs. If they had Kyrie playing point guard instead of Terry Rozier, who's more of a two-guard playing in a point guard role, they probably beat the Cavs last year. They probably go to the finals. And who knows what they might do against the Celtics. So they're going to need him a lot this year. So I'm very scared about giving this guy a max deal. But like I said before, you need Kyrie if you want to bring KD because Kyrie is the alpha mind you need on this team. And he has the pedigree. He's going to have the years of coaching, or at least the 1 year, 1.5, whatever, with Brad Stevens. So I'm scared, man. I'm very scared. I don't want to give him the match. That's why, hesitant, man.
Let me ask you this. Does KD come if somehow, some way the Knicks pull off a trade for Damian Lillard instead of Kyrie?
It's KD. Oh, it's tough, Sim. So remember, KD was clowning Dame or clowning McCollum when he was like, what the hell do y'all do? Like, yeah, we've been beating y'all butts every year, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not sure if they kind of see Dame as like this regular season guy who shrinks in big moments. But, I mean, Sim, they already have the 20 – what's KD's group, 25, 20, 32, whatever the hell the company's called. They already moved to New York. They're talking about ownership. And I think his agent moved to New York. So if they don't get Kyrie, I still think KD is set on coming. The only way I think he's not coming is if Kyrie's not coming, plus they lose a close one in the finals somehow. To some team in the East, and it's that heartbreaking that he has to go and re-up. But it looks like all signs. It seems like he's coming. So even if Dame Lillard comes, he'll do that. But for me, I wouldn't like it just because KD's mind. He's too fragile. And Damian Lillard, as much as I like him as a regular season guy, he's not a clutch performer. In the playoffs, he's not a guy that you could put a team on like Kyrie. I could trust Kyrie to carry a team into the playoffs. I just can't trust KD and Dame. So.
Okay.
But I think KD's coming because it just seems like his business partners, he let too many people down. And, I think he has aspirations outside of basketball that he's leaning on a lot right now that it's just too much that he can't not come to New York.
And just to Damian Lillard right now makes basically $28 million in 2018-19, $29 million in 19-20, 31, almost $32 million in 2021. That's what that is Damian Lillard's salary going forward. Is he worth, and he'd be an unrestricted free agent in 2021. Now, listen, I'm saying all of this, and there's been nothing out there about Damian Lillard to the Knicks. This is purely speculation. Purely speculation. I'm saying it's purely speculation, but the reason why me personally, say it's purely speculation, because if there's going to be another player that's going to demand a trade or want to leave, I can see Damian Lillard potentially being that guy, right? Because you look at the way things have gone down with Anthony Davis in New Orleans for all the years that he's been there, and they haven't been able to do anything. It's been the same exact way with Damian Lillard in Portland.
Yeah, but
same exact way.
Anthony Davis's PER, when you talk about offense and defense and how he can score on offense, I mean, he's putting historical numbers with regards to PR. I've watched Dame Lillard. I like Dame Lillard a lot. I think he's one of the coolest NBA players. I love he came from Weber State, whatever. I love everything about Dame Lillard. I watch him in the playoff sim, and when he faces adversity, especially when he's placed against a good backcourt, when he played against Drew Holiday last year, he shrinks. And it's not a shrink of where he's not making shots in stride or his type, whatever. He's literally jacking up bad shots, like frantic kind of like the far you type of shot. And I just don't see that playing out too well in New York. Now, I will say this. He would have never played. He's never played with a talent like KD, so I don't know what that would bring. But a guy like KD, who's just so mentally fragile, it could go haywire. Now, Damian Lillard is more laid back and low key, but I don't see Dame Lillard, like when you look at that Blazers team now, Sim. Do you see Dame Lillard really elevate anybody, or do you see more of a two-man game with him, McCollum, and Nurkic kind of contribute a little bit here and there?
Yeah, I don't know if he's really elevating anyone. I'm not sure. I don't see him really elevating his team.
All right. So I won't say it's empty stats. He's putting up good numbers, but is that a guy that carry a team? Now, Sim, can I ask you this, and maybe you could put this out to the chat? Would you do this instead? Would you rather try to go hard after KD, Kawhi, and then draft a Ja Morant?
I don't know. Maybe. I guess it's going to depend on what's going on with Dennis Smith Jr. if you're going to do that.
Because I think if you could get a guy like Kawhi is alpha, and like I said, his personality is a perfect counter to New York, and I think he could all that stuff that KD, all that attention that KD could get, whatever, blah blah. He can absorb that. He could be the alpha. KD could be the great talent. Kawhi's a great talent as well on both sides of the floor. And you draft a guy like Ja Morant.
I will say this. I will take, even if we didn't draft Ja Morant, I would take KD and Kawhi over KD and Kyrie.
Agreed.
I would take that 100%. All day. I'd take that all day. Right now, Damian Lillard is averaging for the season. Damian Lillard is, if I can find it, Damian Lillard's averaging 26.3 points per game for the season. 6.3 assists on the season. He is shooting 36% from three. Shooting from the field 44.8% from the field. Playoff totals for Damian Lillard. Let's look at playoff totals. Playoff per game totals. Well, I mean, in 2017-18, he averaged 18.5 points per game, 4.8 assists per game. 2017-18. In 16-17, he averaged 27.8 points per game 3.3 assists. He shot 48%, or his effective field goal percentage in the playoffs was 48%. His field goal percentage was 43. His three-point shooting was 28% in the playoffs. The year before that, he averaged 26 points per game, and he still shot low. Well, he shot 39% from three, and he shot 36% from, overall from the field goal percentage. It's hard to say because he's not playing with supreme talent around him like a KD, so you just never know.
Right, and AD isn't either, but AD is a different beast, so I can't really compare AD and Dame. But I mean, if you can dipper some, and I hate trying to use Westbrook because Westbrook's playing with PG, so it's kind of hard. But Westbrook, if you look what he's doing this year, he's kind of pulled back from his offense and kind of make guys around him so-called better. Dame, for the past 3-4 years, I haven't really seen him do that. I mean, it's just him and McCollum. And I know Nurkic came back late last year, in the play. I think he used to come back from an injury when he came back into the playoffs. But, I really haven't seen any much growth with Nurkic. And Nurkic was basically toe-to-toe with Jokic as these big European guys who are supposed to be these, do-it-all centers. And I really haven't seen Dame really elevate those guys. I think Dame is a really good combo guard who flashes in the regular season. And in the playoffs, he kind of, look, the Pelicans were a good team, but should they have done that bad against? They got swept by the Pelicans, Sim.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, we'll see. And listen, chances are he's not going to be in New York anyway. This is all purely speculation, but I think it's something to, that it could be possible. I mean, the Blazers are at a point where they may be looking to say, you know what? We're not going to win with, Golden State here. Denver is here playing very well. Obviously, Denver's not on Golden State's level. They may be looking at, I guess it depends on what happens. A lot of things could change if KD decides to leave. Let's say even Klay Thompson decided to leave. All of a sudden, the Warriors aren't the Warriors. Now a lot of teams feel like, oh, we got it now in the West. So we'll see, man. It's going to be, it's definitely going to be interesting. This year's free agency, 2019 free agency, is going to be
one of the best.
Yeah. It's going to be like that 2010 year, but it may even be better than that. You know what I'm saying? It may even be better than that. I know we got some guys that had some things they wanted to say. Let's see, Isaiah. 1 second, Isaiah. All right. It's on you, my man.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, I wanted to piggyback what Guillermo said. Guillermo had a lot of good points. Good job, James. Good job, James. But no, so what Guillermo was saying was that, and I was so, Sim, my face when I heard Kyrie got injured, and I looked at the injury, and it was non-contact. I was so disappointed because I'm like, dude, you're ruining your chance to get this money, man. Because, Sim, it's every year with this kid, man. Every year with an injury with his knee or something with his foot or something with his, it's like, now to me, it's like the Knicks got to hesitate to give this kid the money if he does want to come to the Knicks, because it's like, are we really going to invest $150 million into a kid with bad knees that has already missed a pivotal Game 7 of even already missed the playoffs last year, where his team had a chance to go to the finals, and he already missed a finals appearance. And it's just like, it's crazy, man, because it's crazy because Sim, what do you do? Because it's like, we just got rid of a player who we said we don't have faith in because he's always injured. Now we're gonna go to another guy who's already injured and whose knees are like 50-year-old knees.
Yeah, now
in a 26-year-old body.
I feel you.
And it just gets me mad because it's like, dang, I really thought Kyrie is the one, but now I'm scared because it's like, this would be the most Knicks thing ever that we invest $150 million in. Hopefully, I pray we can give him we can get insurance on his knees so that we don't look like idiots giving $150 million and we don't have nothing to cover us. So if we do go with Kyrie, I hope that that we can get some type of insurance because we need it bad because we can't afford to give this guy $150 million and we have no type of insurance needs. Would you
take Damian Lillard instead of Kyrie if that trade came available? You wouldn't do it.
Well, here's my thing. And this is where I say I agree with Guillermo because, listen, man, he didn't show up last year, and he should have never got swept. He should have never got swept by the Pelicans. It's one thing to lose to the Pelicans, but to get swept by the Pelicans, no. And plus with Dame, I don't think Dame would be completely focused here because if you forget, he wants to be a rapper.
But you know what? I think that I don't know. I think he will. I think Dame Lillard has his head on straight. I do. I think he has his head on straight.
Sim,
I don't think he get caught up, man. I think you can be a rapper from anywhere. I don't care where you are. You can be a rapper from anywhere with the way things are now. Now I know there's a little more hustle and bustle. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Dame Lillard is not too lit, in the words of Joakim Noah, for New York City. All right? He is not too lit for New York City. I
understand.
think he would be.
But my thing is though, I'm just not really 100% sold on Damian Lillard because of. But I go with you, man. I'd rather go with if Kyrie's off the books and you're scared of his injuries. I'll go with Kawhi and KD all day, man. Okay. If we get those two with Kevin Knox and then and we could maybe draft a point guard, I'm down for that. I'll accept that over Kyrie and KD. I'd rather do Kawhi and KD any day of the week.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Nate wanted to get in this piece here, and then I want to talk to Romeo Dredd. Nate, go ahead, man.
Yeah, Sim, I'm with you, man. I think I've said before, I like Damian Lillard, and yes, I would take him over Kyrie, especially if we could get KD to come with us too. I think those two would mesh really well. Kyrie can play, man. I mean, I'm sorry, Dame can play. I mean, he's got some dog in him. Yeah, he struggled against the Pelicans and all that, but that was more Anthony Davis just putting him on his back and them just dominating. But I would love to get Dame. But here's the thing: if we trade for Dame, what is the asking price for him? Is it going to be like Anthony Davis? Because if that's the case, I'm not trading my young assets to get Dame. I mean, we got some good young assets that, unless it's Anthony Davis or Giannis, I'm not giving up the farm for these guys.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Now, I got one question for you.
All right. If
you're KD, okay, and I know everybody says KD won't come by himself, but if you're KD, and let's say for Knicks purposes, we get the number 1 pick and it's Zion. We have Knox, you have Dennis Smith, you have an up-and-coming guy in Mitch Robinson. Don't you think that's enough to at least give it a shot? I mean, it would be his team. It wouldn't be nobody else's. It would be Kevin Durant's team. Because nobody has the leadership of Kevin Durant or the longevity of what he's done so far. I mean, I think he could still come with those pieces around him, and then let's say in 2020, if we don't spend that max other contract, we go look at somebody else. I don't want to just throw this money at anybody.
I don't know if he comes by himself though. I'm still not sure if he comes by himself, and maybe he does. Maybe he takes a page out of LeBron James's book. LeBron James went to the Lakers by himself.
He's got nothing to. He's really nothing to prove. He's already won championships. He's one of the best players.
I think he does have something to prove. I think KD has something to prove.
Yeah,
I think he does because, he jumped on the Warriors' coattails.
Sure.
To win it, and won however many championship they've won now, 2 or whatever it is. I think he does have something to prove still.
So that's what I'm saying. He could revitalize New York and that champion. And if he could get us to the championship, we'd win it. That would be more special than any championship he won with the Warriors.
Yeah.
Because he did it literally with himself and a bunch of young players.
Right.
But these are good young players. These aren't just scrubs. These are good young players. And arguably, Zion could be a stud himself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I personally think it could be enough to get him to come by himself. But I just don't want New York to just spend their max money just to get somebody else to pair with KD when maybe that's not worth it if it's not Kawhi or Kyrie or somebody of really high caliber. I don't want just a mid-level player that you're paying max money to just to pair him with KD. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Let me come to Romeo Dread. And listen, anything we're talking about with Damian Lillard is all speculation, but it may be out the window anyway. The Portland Trailblazers just signed Enes Kanter, so they might be on the road to winning that championship. They just signed. Oh, there we go. They just signed, and I spelled Kanter wrong. I'm going to fix that right away. They just signed Enes Kanter. I want to know what you guys think about that. Is it a good move for Portland? For that they signed Enes Kanter, is it a good move for Portland? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much I really care about it. I'm really only bringing it up because Kanter used to play for the Knicks. Right? But how does he help Portland? Enes Kanter just signed to Portland today. Romeo Dread, what do you think, man?
First, I just want to touch on what we were saying before about KD.
Okay.
What I believe is he's the first sign. We ain't signing nobody. It's not no question of if we bring in this person, is he coming? He coming first. If he don't come, then we going elsewhere. And I think it's going to be a Miami thing. It's going to be like, who coming with me?
Now,
it's going to be a package deal. I don't think we're making any signs until after him.
Okay, now I understand that. I get you. I get you there. But you don't think that he probably knows at least through back channels that this person is going to sign as well. So, I'll be the first person to sign, but he knows through back channels that somebody else is going to sign with him.
Just like Bosh and LeBron knew they was going to Miami.
Right. I think that's what people say, when they say he's not coming by himself. I think people more believe that there's going to be some backdoor stuff going on, and he knows that this person is signing. And so now, of course, KD is the first, he's the first domino to go, and then other people are coming right around with him.
Exactly. And even if it's not that way, even if he don't know, they're going to go to him first.
Right.
And if he say no, then it's plan B, whatever plan B is. I mean, that's what I believe in. And I agree. I'd rather have Kawhi and KD. And if they get together and say they coming, then then get Lillard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And with Dame and those two, there ain't no shrinking violets.
I agree with you 100%. If you
they
have Dame Lillard, Kawhi, and KD, come on, man.
We getting a chip.
Come on, man.
Man.
Come on. That's crazy.
It's over.
Because if you had those guys, man, because you still would have, unless Dennis Smith Jr. went in the trade, and he probably would.
He probably would.
He would probably go in the trade, but
to get Lillard, he probably going.
He would probably go in the trade. If I was Portland, I would ask for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Because Portland's hit their plateau, man. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And no one's going there.
They're not doing that. Cancer just went there. Hey, that's that big splash. They made a big splash, man. They just made a big splash. Cancer's going in.
Can they get a free agent this year? I don't even know.
I'm not sure what the cap is.
No one's talking about KD going there or Kawhi going there. No one's going there. This is what they got.
Yeah.
All they're going to get is a bunch of B-lists.
Right.
So I can see Portland trading them with 27 mil. Shit, I trade them. Excuse my French. But as far as Kanter, he ain't bringing nothing. What's he going to do? Play the Matador defense and let everybody go to the rim? I mean, he inhales rebounds, but
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, maybe it's what they need. I'm not exactly sure what's going on in Portland and what they look like and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a double machine. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure he's going to be a double machine.
What? Their center's hurt?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe they, figure he was something that they needed. Right now, the Portland Trailblazers, the Trailblazers are 33-23. They are up by 5 over the Golden State Warriors with 6 minutes and 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Okay. Yeah. And if we could work a deal for AD, KD, and Kawhi, oh my God.
Oh, of course.
New York would be hated.
Portland Trailblazers right now, they're 4th in the West behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are half game above the Houston Rockets. That's where they stand right now. They'll be in the playoffs in the Western Conference.
They're having a good season.
Yeah, having a good season. They'll definitely be in the playoffs. But still, they're a team. This team that's middle of the pack, and they'll probably remain middle of the pack. I don't see them. They just don't have what it takes to do anything further.
Nobody's unseating Golden State right now. So everybody in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Everybody's in the middle of the pack. The entire league.
With Chicago and Jordan. Well, who's coming out of the other?
Yeah. But that is a reason why. It's possible that someone like Dame Lillard could say, you know what, I had enough here. We're not moving anywhere. We're not doing anything. I want out.
I think that's definitely a possibility.
I
think that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, so,
maybe Danny Ainge pull a swap.
Yeah, you never know. But that's why it's so important that we having the cap space, having the assets that we have, and it's going to be important for Scott Perry and those guys to be patient. I mean, looking at the last thing I'm going to say about Portland, we can move on. Just looking at their roster, there are 2 big pickups this season to help them is Rodney Hood. I like Rodney Hood. He's okay. Rodney Hood and Enes Kanter. Other than that, they got Evan Turner.
That's not a playoff push move.
Yeah.
That's
Right. They got Evan Turner, Gary Trent Jr. They got Anthony Simmons, Yusuf Nurkic, C.J. McCollum, Damian Lillard, Myers Leonard, Jake Layman, Al-Farouq Aminu, Zach Collins, Seth Curry, Maurice Harkless, Rodney Hood, and Labissiere. They're a stuck in the middle of the pack type of team. So it's worth watching, in my opinion. It's worth watching.
My concern is what's plan B? If KD say, yo, I'm not coming, are we going to just pocket that money and wait for the AD the year after? We ain't,
I think
what about Boogie?
That's got to be plan B. He don't come pocket
Boogie
the
Cousins.
money. You pocket the money.
Yeah.
But see, I think, pocket the money. If KD doesn't come to the Knicks, I don't. All right. Let's talk. Let's just ask this question: if KD doesn't come to the Knicks and he doesn't stay with the Warriors, where else does he go? Is there another place that he would go?
Ah, man. Lakers.
The Lakers
play with LeBron.
Maybe, but does he want to beat LeBron?
He already beat him.
I mean, he did, and he didn't. No, man, he did, and he didn't. I don't know. He made.
Listen, New York's got to be the place, man. Listen? I don't care how many rings they win in Golden State. One chip in New York outweighs all of that. This is the way it is, man. If he want to make a name for himself, he's coming here. If not, then he'll stay in Golden State. I don't see him going anywhere else.
Is there any place else that he would go? Right? I can't see. I don't see him going to the Lakers. Right? I just don't see it. I don't see.
Well, Clippers are the only other team with 2 max spots.
And see, I don't see him going to the Clippers either. You know why I don't see him going to the Clippers? Because then you're still playing second fiddle to LeBron in LA. That's the only reason why I wouldn't see him going. Unless he thinks that, if I go to the Clippers, I'm going to take over LA. But now
Kawhi comes with him.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Kawhi
true.
is from there.
Right, because the Clippers can make room for 2 max free agents. So maybe the Clippers are the main competition.
They are only comp. They are our comp for 2 max players.
Yeah. Because if the Clippers get Kawhi, if they were to get Kawhi and KD, they're not playing second fiddle. They're not playing second fiddle to the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going to be better than the Los Angeles Lakers, and they'll have a chance to win a championship in the West.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one spot. The Clippers is one spot. Is there any place else? I don't know. Let me see. Barry, what do you think? I still got you unmuted, Romeo.
There's been some rumor that Dallas, because of all the trades they've made, that Cuban's going to try to go after him with the one spot he has to hook him up with Doncic and Porzingis.
Wouldn't that be painful? How painful would that be if we traded KP to Dallas and then KD goes and signs in Dallas?
I'm going with the unicorn, huh?
Oh my goodness!
Damn.
How that would be painful.
Yo, mute his ass, man. Mute him.
I'm just telling you what the buzz is, especially out there.
Oh man.
Romeo,
he's out of the group, man.
Romeo, I don't want it to happen. I'm just
you out of the group, man.
Hey, Barry, you know what, Barry? I think you just made a lot of Knicks fans' hearts just jump. Now Knicks fans are scared.
I heard some of that buzz. I read that some on the internet, and he's made this cap space for 1 max. Also, they have cap space for 1 max out there.
Yeah,
that was the buzz.
No, man, that was one nightmare.
Romeo, I'm not saying I want it to happen, buddy.
That's why I said it's a nightmare. It's one of your nightmares, man.
As one retiree to the other, we want them in New York. I understand.
Yeah, that would be a tough one. That would be a tough pill to swallow.
There's a little bit of buzz going on out there.
Yeah,
Cuban's trying to get that to happen. So
that would
I don't know if he'd want to go play with those 2 guys. I don't know.
Shoot, why not?
I mean, geez, Luka is, Luka.
He got a good coach. Carlisle's a good coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That would be that would hurt.
That's bad.
But it would hurt. But if somehow that happened, but we still managed to get Kawhi and somebody else, then maybe this thing wouldn't be as bad. But
right.
But I think that would definitely, that would feel bad. And I just seen someone in the chat say, Doc Shooter 911 said it's even worse if Dallas gets Zion. I don't know if Dallas is going to land in that 3 worst teams. I guess I don't know if they're going to land there where they could get Zion unless some other things happen. Yeah.
Didn't they trade their pick away, Simeon?
Yeah, I don't think they have any picks, man. They got.
They traded with Atlanta. They can't get.
That's right. That's right. They traded. That's right. They traded their pick.
Atlanta's got their pick.
Yeah, Atlanta's
for
got
Doncic.
Their pick, so, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, so we don't have to worry about that one.
No,
we don't have to worry about
that.
That's what Kennedy said, man. In Dallas, you don't have to worry about that one.
And I didn't mean to break your heart, Romeo.
Yeah, that hurt, man. You depressed me. I gotta
take another drink, buddy.
Exactly, man. I gotta take a sip right
Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, man, I'm gonna throw a wild card out there.
Please, something positive.
What if KD and AD talked, and AD said, "Hey, if you come with me to New Orleans, I'll stay."
Well, what do they have? Wow, they do.
I don't think they got it.
I don't think so either.
I don't know.
They have a
lot of expiring contracts. They have a lot of expiring
But look at this
contracts.
point. But look at it this way. If AD still had Cousins, do you think he would have demanded a trade?
No,
I
don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe.
I think AD just wants players around him. He wants better players. He wants to go far in the playoffs. You don't think if KD said, "Hey, I'm coming to New Orleans together," they wouldn't pair up? I'm just saying.
I don't think that's a consideration.
Because New Orleans wants to keep him, and the only way they're going to be able to keep him, saying, "Hey, Kevin Durant wants to come play. Would you stay here?"
New Orleans don't want him anymore, man. He already said he wants out. They don't want him. They're going to try to get the best deal for him this summer.
Yeah. Now, of course, they, he's still on anybody's books until 2020.
Yeah. But he's already said, "I want out." True. So
yeah,
they're just going to try to cash in. He said, "I'm not signing."
But if they could say, "Hey, if KD wants to come play with us, would you stay, or would you resend your trade idea?"
Well, they can't say it. You just said if they said it.
That was a sign to AD, like, listen, man, we're not going to keep good players. We're going to give Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is going to be your best player. But if they would have kept Cuz, I think AD wouldn't have demanded the trade.
Well, Cuz got hurt. Cuz got hurt.
And Drew Holiday.
Cuz got hurt.
It's a pretty good formidable lineup.
And Cuz left.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see KD going to New Orleans.
No, I can't see New Orleans. I can't see Dallas.
It's a wild card because they want to keep him in that.
He stays or he goes to New York. I think that's it.
Probably the only two, right? He stays or goes to New York. Let me see if anyone else thinks there's any possibilities of any other places. These guys having a conversation, it looks like, so I don't know if they're ready. Let me see. I'm going to ask Viv. Viv, do you think there's any possibility
put
that
your hands
KD...
over my eyes to see Buster?
Hey, Viv.
Give me some more, Buster.
You talk about Buster Rhymes. Hey, Viv, can you hear me? Vivek?
Viv, he's talking to you.
Vivek, can you hear me? Maybe he can't hear me.
I don't think so.
Hey, Viv, Simeon's trying to get all you.
Nah, he can't hear you.
Nah, he can't hear me. He's wrapped up in the conversation.
Okay, he just said you.
Oh, okay. You got it, Viv? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, sorry,
yeah. No problem. Any chance you see KD going any place else besides New York or the Warriors?
Or
where would it be?
Let me think. Where's the Rich Kleiman connections? Probably nowhere else, in my opinion. I think it's just one of those two teams.
Clippers?
I don't know. What does he get out of the Clippers besides? I mean, is there a connection there that I don't know if a connection with the Clippers?
If Kawhi were to go, Kawhi and KD, would he go to the Clippers?
Kawhi and AD?
Because and KD, Kevin Durant and Kawhi. Because
Kawhi and Kevin Durant. Gotcha.
The Clippers got money to sign too.
Right? They do got money to sign him, right? And they do got they got pieces around them, right? So do they have? So right now, what is their situation? I think they have to still trade somebody to get the full $70 million or so, right?
I don't think so. I think they're there already. I don't know. I haven't really.
No, I'll tell you right now. I'll just pull it up right now for
Clippers at $54 million.
I thought they had to trade the Gallinari contract that they have on the books.
Okay, maybe
to get to $70 million. But I'll pull it up right now just for curiosity.
Yeah, check it out.
I think. Where's the multi-year summary? They have total cap. So right now it's about 50 something and change for the 2019-20 season, but they have some cap holds they have to consider in there too, for at least the minimum, minimum contract or whatever. Now Gallinari, he makes about $22 million next year. So I think in order to get to that $70 million range, they have to trade that contract. So what you could do is you try to convince. I don't think you can convince them for a discount though. That's gonna be impossible. I think both players are gonna garner about $30 million each on the open market. So If they could trade Gallinari, then I'll see both of them going to the Clippers. If they cannot trade Gallinari, then I see it as tough.
Okay. All right.
So,
all right. Let me see. Isaiah, what do you think, man?
You know what, sir? I'm gonna piggyback on what Viv. I've been piggybacking a lot on everybody today. I agree with him. I mean, from what the evidence we've seen, we've seen KD's business move to New York. We just seen, I don't know if you've seen Alonzo Trier just got headphones from KD's agent.
Yeah, but you know what? All right.
I
know. But as Knicks fans, man, well, not just Knicks fans, people just go get crazy with it. I think everybody knows that Alonzo Trier and KD were friends before Alonzo Trier ever even ended up in New York, right? So of course, it makes sense that they would send him those headphones and and all that kind of stuff. They've been friends already.
Nah, you're right. So I don't want to sound like the media, but you know what though? To me, it's either going to be the Knicks or the Warriors. I don't really see him going to the Clippers. I think he would want a better challenge because again, he wouldn't get the attention that I think he wants as far as media, because the Clippers are still always going to be the Lakers' little brother, no matter what. Even when the Lakers were bad and the Clippers were good, it was still the little brother to the Lakers. So I do think it's either the Knicks or her doing one-on-one with Golden State again. I don't really see anything. I don't see him going anywhere else. But can I say one more thing, Sim? You need to have a hip hop day, because let me tell you something. This dude Viv, he knows his stuff, man. This dude, I knew Viv was a hip hop head, but the way he was talking about, man, I'm like, this dude knows some things, man. You gotta have a hip hop day, man. And you gotta let you and Barry run it, because they know Barry's pretty hip hop himself.
We get it. We get it.
No, man. This new, and Romeo too, man. He got the Q-Tip and Phife Dawg. Rest in peace. It'd be dope to have a hip hop day, man. It'd be pretty dope, man.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. We'll do something.
Was that my final words? Because I'd be pretty pissed.
That wasn't your final words. We about to get to that. So it looks like ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it's either Warriors in New York for KD. I'd be surprised if a dark horse jumps up there. I'd be really surprised, but you never know. Final question for the night. I guess, Isaiah, I was trying to mute you, but it wouldn't let me mute you, so I guess it's time.
Hey, that's God telling you something.
The Knicks play Atlanta tomorrow night. Do we take our 19th straight loss versus the Hawks?
I want this W bad, man. I want this bad, man. I want to leave on a good note at least, man. I think it'd be good for everybody. It could be good for the fans. It'd be good for the kids. We just need to taste what a W feels like, because when you lose like this, it becomes a norm, and that's scary. We don't want norms. I would definitely love a W tomorrow. I'm hoping and I'm praying. I'm not praying, but I'm hoping that we get it, because I just think we need something to come back to get this before also to get us in a good spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I hope we do, man. I hope we do.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. I'm praying. You might not be, but I am. All right.
I don't want God. Listen, I'm saving that prayer for KD with summertime.
Okay.
I don't want, because God told me I only get one of those.
You only get one of them.
I got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and just to let people know, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, subscribe to the channel. Right, hit that notification bell. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. Give me a thumbs up. But subscribe to that channel and get a notification anytime that I go live. I just want to give you some updates on the upcoming schedule, and I don't have the whole schedule out now. I got to look at how things are gonna go, but I will be going live. I plan to go live. Let's say that. I plan to go live during the Slam Dunk Contest, the Rising Stars game, and hopefully the All-Star game. I plan to be live. All right, so make sure you join me at those moments, during those times, and then after the All-Star game, after All-Star weekend, and since I don't know what Isaiah's watching in the background, but
I'm sorry, I was watching the basketball game.
I'm gonna quiet this down. For some reason it won't. I'm gonna have to. There you go. For some reason it won't let me mute Isaiah. Isn't that something?
I told you.
For some reason it will not let me mute Isaiah. Look at this, folks.
That's all right. Look
at this, folks. I am trying to mute Isaiah, and he has some kind of power over my computer, and it will not let me mute Isaiah. So Isaiah, you're gonna have to be quiet and keep that whatever you're watching down in the background.
Oh man, I was watching Gilmore Girls.
Isaiah, I don't know what happened, but anyway, getting back to what I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, after the All-Star game, we're gonna dive deep into the draft. After the All-Star weekend, we're gonna dive deep into the draft. And, we're going to have a special show where we really just focus on where we're going to look at the draft. We're going to look at some draft boards and all that kind of stuff. And then there'll be videos that come out that focuses on a specific player. We're going to dive deep into the draft, first round, second round, guys that we might be able to sign, undrafted rookies and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna have our own war room. We had it last year. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna have our own war room and what some things we need to do and map it all out, and we'll have some fun with it. It should be pretty fun. All right, so again,
Nate, put your god.
Oh, guy, you are. See that? See this guy. You still. That's the reason why I was trying to mute him. For some reason, I couldn't mute him. So he's still here, and short-term memory. But anyway, again, like I was saying, we're gonna cover some stuff for All-Star Weekend, and then after All-Star Weekend, we're gonna dive deep into the draft. We're still gonna, do the post games and stuff like that, but we're gonna dive deep into the draft. All right, and have some fun with the draft. So Isaiah. I'm gonna get you out of here, man. You got to give me your last words. Give me your last words. I'm getting you out of here.
All right, man. Final words. I hope we get the win tomorrow. Shout out to Romeo. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Viv. Shout out to Barry. I just want to say one thing, man. Barry's wife is the sweetest lady. She is so sweet. She was so sweet at the game. She was very nice to me, nice to my father. So was Barry. He's great people, everybody. Great people. Barry, you're the man.
We love to have him in the crew, man. We love having him in the crew.
Great. But hopefully we get a dub tomorrow, man. And let's go, man. That's Barry White, everybody. Barry White. All right, guys, have a good one, y'all.
All right, man. I'm gonna get this guy out of here.
Come on, you can't get me now. That's Jesus, baby.
Yep. Jesus let me kick you up out of there. All right, Viv.
Yeah, hopefully you get a win soon. That's all I gotta say, Man, this schedule sucks though. They were literally in Cleveland on Monday. They had to fly home just for this home game today. And now they gotta fly. They're flying back to Atlanta. Thank God there's an All-Star break. This is a brutal schedule. I mean, luckily for Kevin Knox and Dennis Smith Jr., they got to take a quick, something to the other, maybe private plane or whatever to Charlotte from Atlanta. But man, this is a rough little stretch for you. They got to go back and forth and back and forth. So, hopefully they get a win tomorrow. They need it. They do need a win. And we're so far down. We can afford one win. We can afford one without messing up the odds, whatever.
Yeah.
But
you need it. Just I know everyone's worried about the tank and whatever, what have you, but you gotta get one just for the spirit. You need.
Yeah, we just need one win. Come on, get us one win.
You
please.
need it for the spirit.
We're tied with Phoenix, so it's like we already have the 14% odds now, and Cleveland's a game and a half, ahead of us. So we can afford to try to get at least one win. Let's try to get one win.
Try to get. I'm hoping we can pull it off. We need one.
And tomorrow will be the best shot because all right, we head into the All-Star break with a win. The players can decompress and just they can. I mean, they really all they need is to decompress. I mean, and for Kevin Knox and him, Dennis Smith Jr. is just all right. Enjoy All-Star weekend and with just being around there. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, just get one win, please.
Yeah. We need. All right, Viv.
All right, man.
I will catch you. All right, tomorrow night. I'll catch you tomorrow night.
Yeah, let's see. Hopefully.
All right.
Peace.
All right, man. Peace. Nate. Hold up, Nate. Hold up. Look at this. There we go. About to say, it almost didn't let me unmute you, Nate. That'd have been another sign.
Sam, I sure as hell hope we win tomorrow, man. I mean, not only for the spirit, but just the fact is, I don't want to break this record. I mean, we got to get this win, man. Hopefully, we got young legs, so fatigue shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, man, let's go out and get this win and, get that streak out of the way and, then we can start another 10, 15 game losing streak again.
Right.
Hey, so one thing I wanted to say, because we're talking about Fizdale earlier and on how he plays his players and all that. You mentioned DeAndre Jordan didn't play a lot in the second half.
Right.
Fizdale's one of those coaches that he just goes with a hot hand. He really plays whoever's playing well at the time, regardless of a starter or bench player. He just plays whoever is on, and yeah, I think some of it he wants to play the young guys too, but I just think he just likes playing the players that are playing good, and he wants to run them to the ground until they get tired, and then maybe he puts the starters back in. But I just think that's his philosophy. Every coach is different. Some coaches want to play players for certain points and all that, or scheme-wise and all that. I think Fizdale's just one of those guys that he's just going to play this player until, maybe he's not feeling it anymore, and then he puts somebody else in,
Maybe. It's hard to say because DeAndre Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan had, he was 12 points. He only played 19 minutes. He was 12 points.
Right.
What's that? Five rebounds and 7 assists. He was on his way to possibly getting a triple-double, if he would have really played deep into that fourth quarter. Now, that was on 19 minutes from DeAndre Jordan. Mitchell Robinson was 5 for 8 from the field, 14 points, 13 rebounds, no assist, 1 assist, I think. I don't know.
He might use him tomorrow because on a back-to-back, maybe he'll be used more. Maybe he's gonna play tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it really has. You seen the other night he played. He played Mitchell Robinson over DeAndre Jordan down the stretch as well. I think it just has to do with him.
Mitch Robinson's balling out, man.
I don't know. If I'm really, really trying to win the game, no. Honestly, I'm just being honest with you. If I'm really, really trying to win the game, no, I play DeAndre Jordan because he's been there before and he knows how to get it. If I'm trying to develop Mitchell Robinson and let him get that late game, let him get the late game experience so that he can become the guy that wins the game for us, then I play Mitchell Robinson. But if I was trying to win right now, then I play DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think he's tanking necessarily. I think that, if he was playing Cornette over DJ, then I'd be like, okay, he's tanking. But Mitch Robinson's earning his minutes. And I don't know if you could play both of them on the court at the same time.
Mitchell Robinson and DeAndre Jordan? No, you can't. You got to choose between one of the two.
Exactly. And, that's what I'm saying. And so you go with the hot hand. He's playing really well, and he is a young guy, and he wants to get him as much as he can, as much burn as possible. But, if he really was tanking him, he wouldn't have started Vonleh and Hezonja because that was his whole point about matching with a tall lineup. he would have just played Trier or thrown Dotson out there, whatever, to get eaten up by Simmons. I mean,
well, he's developing. He's developing them. He's developing. Gotcha. He's trying to let these guys play and get as much experience as possible.
Yeah, we just gotta trust it, man. We gotta trust that it's gonna come out in wins later.
Hopefully, it will. I think it will. Yeah,
all
I'm
right, man.
trusting
We'll
it.
See you.
All right, man. See you tomorrow night.
Have a good night.
Peace. All right. Romeo, it's on you, my man. Oh, I think you got yourself muted, maybe.
In my headset.
Oh, there you go.
Hear me
nice.
now?
Yep, nice and clear.
Okay, you got me?
Yep.
Okay. Listen, there's no gimmies for this team, man. There's we shouldn't win this one. If that's the one lesson we learned this season, and Atlanta just beat the stuffing out of LA when LeBron went for a triple-double.
Right.
Maybe they blew their wad. Maybe they'll be generous and say, "Yo, we got to get back into our losing ways too."
Right. They might
get it twisted.
Right.
So it's back to back though, but
yeah, back to back.
Trier done hit the wall, the rookie wall. Knox done hit the rookie wall. I don't know what Dotson's doing. He's like he plays one half and then another half. He's just like
inconsistent. I mean, what a young guy would do. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking we're gonna take our 19th straight loss versus Atlanta tomorrow. That's what I think. I think we're gonna lose.
I think we can get a win though, man. We need, like you said, man. We need a win.
We need
just to show that we practicing for a reason.
Exactly. Right, and we're working towards something. Even though we're losing, we're playing the young guys. We're working towards something. That's it.
Yeah. Just give me a crumb.
Something. Help keep our spirits up. Give us something.
Exactly. Man. I don't want the whole, cheese. Just give me something.
Yeah.
So I hope we get a victory, bro. I think we can. We can get victory. We lost to Cleveland. Let's beat Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Is Frank coming back anytime soon?
I don't think he's coming back until after the All-Star break.
Okay. Yeah. There's no reason. There's no reason.
I don't think he's coming back till after the All-Star break. Get a couple practices in. Everybody get a couple practices in, and then start.
Yeah. All right.
All right, man. Hopefully I see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'll try, brother. You know what day it is tomorrow? Well, today.
Oh, yeah.
It's Valentine's.
It's Valentine's. I know. I know. Yeah, you gotta take care of home front, man.
I don't think I'll be able to make it.
Yeah, I hate you. All right, man.
Peace, Sim.
Peace.
Thanks again, man.
No doubt. Appreciate it.
Good night, Barry.
All right, Barry.
Take care.
Yes.
All right, Barry, it's on you, man. Got those last words.
Well, I'm going to trump Romeo on what he said. The last win we got, if I'm not mistaken, was against L.A. So hopefully we can beat the Hawks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
They have been playing. They have been playing pretty good, the Hawks. But I still think that that's our best chance of winning something. Right now, out of all the teams that we played.
Right.
In the last stretch we've had.
Right. And look, our March doesn't get any easier. We got a rough one come March. We got a rough schedule in March. This is a chance for us to get a win. If we don't get this one, I think we have another chance against Cleveland in a few days, after the All-Star break and all that kind of stuff. We don't get that one, I don't know.
Revenge. Revenge.
Yeah. But, all right, guys, I'm heading out. If I don't see you tomorrow, enjoy Valentine's Day with your lovely wives.
That's right.
Me and my wife are probably,
absolutely.
Me and my wife are most likely to celebrate during the weekend. Since both of us have some pretty busy schedules during the week, we'll probably celebrate during the weekend. And but have a happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Valentine's Day every day. All right.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys. See you later.
All right. See you later. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Have a great rest of your week, a great Valentine's Day. Today is hump day. Tomorrow's Thursday. The weekend is almost here. So enjoy it. All right. Remember, subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you can get a notification whenever that I go live. You can stay up to date with everything that's going on. Big shout out to Shekels for the super chat. Sorry I missed you earlier. Thank you, Shekels, for the super chat. But let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Happy Valentine's Day. Peace.